Alrighty, so before I review this game, I just want to quickly make a quick disclosure to all of those MLS fans that might be panicking the fact that after Liga MX crushed them in this All Star game, and also all those Liga MX fans that may be using this as a huge fuel to the fire why Liga MX is still way superior than MLS. Remember, this is an MLS All Star game. So this is an exhibition game where there's really not much at stake, even though I know it seems like the media and even the pregame show trying to build this game up as a rivalry. But also, this is a game where we saw something that we usually will never see in a competitive game. We will never see a competitive game where there's just so much subs that is happening throughout, or even like a change of starting 11, unless of course it's an exhibition game, and that kind of just throw all the different tactics in terms of substitution and also strategy out of the way. And not to mention, I would also say that looking back at this game, I don't think this is a game where the scoreline really so how this game play out. This I think was actually a pretty even match, and I feel like this is also a match where it's a classic example of one team able to take advantage of their chances and the other team did not. Liga MX definitely took advantage of the chances that they have, and MLS unfortunately unable to do so, and also got a little bit unlucky a couple of times hitting the post. But I will also say that this was a game that kind of gives me a little bit of All Star game vibe from other leagues like the NBA, NHL, and especially the NFL with their Pro Bowl, where yeah, defense at times were kind of non-existent in this game. And as we look at the stats, it kind of shows that where it seems like the attacking talent, it seems like they want to be more there to just kind of shine. While on the defensive end, yeah, they're just happy to be there, and especially the goalkeeper as well. And that's again, it's kind of expected. We see this happen with those leagues I've just mentioned, where in an All Star game, defense can pretty much be put in the back shelf and the offense basically shine because everybody attending an All Star game want to see some offensive power. They do not want to see a boring defensive type of game. Now, I just also want to mention the starting 11 for the MLS All Star. So you got Roman Berkey, Keegan Rosenberry, Justin Glad, Thiago Martins, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, Hector Herrera, Luchi Acosta, Evander Cucho Hernandez, and Diego Rossi. And by the way, I'm wearing Columbus for this review, not just because this game happened in Columbus, but also the only guy that scored the goal for the MLS All Star plays for the Columbus Crew, and the only guy that got the primary assist also play for the Columbus Crew as well. And also, before you ask, will Messi and Suarez in this game would make a difference? I don't know. I think maybe, but when you look on how bad the MLS All Star defense was in this game. I mean, it would have probably made a bit of a shootout, but I don't know if it will make a difference when it comes to Liga MX winning this game in general. Now, I also want to mention the match was actually delayed 30 minutes because Joe Biden had a well, not a presidential debate, but more of a presidential address. Obviously, he talked about him in his final couple of weeks of being the president of the United States before step aside, and that's all I'll mention in terms of the politics in this video because we'll definitely not get to the talk about the debate that is going on between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump as the next president because again it's an MLS channel, not a political channel. 2 minutes in, Malagon would deny Rosenberry, but it's recycled back to Busquets, who thought was deflected and why, and then Rossi would miss wide from close range. And just like the last MLS versus Liga MX All Star game in Minnesota, I thought MLS All Star started well in this one, and they were looking for the opening goal. And keep in mind, up to this point, Carlos Vela already put the ball into the back net and give MLS All Star 1-0 lead in that MLS versus Liga MX All Star game in Minnesota just 2 years ago. Betarame then hits it wide from close range. I thought Betarame had a really good game, and it's hard to believe that he came just so close of joining the Portland Timbers. And I know, obviously, the Timbers have Capacito Rodriguez, and he's been doing very well for the Timbers. But I'm pretty sure the Timbers, if you ask as every Timbers fan, who would they choose between Betarame or Rodriguez? I know recency bias will say they'll choose Jonathan Rodriguez, but Betarame, he's been a killer in terms of MLS team, and I can't wait to see how he's going to do in the Leeds Cup because he was absolutely devastating last year when it comes to the Leeds Cup. He was scoring goals left and right in the Leeds Cup, and he's probably going to do the same thing as this Rayados team. Definitely one of the favorites of potentially winning this tournament. Martins then hits it wide from the corner before Cucho puts one right to Maligan. By the way, before this game, they definitely promote that Leeds Cup very heavily. And again, there's going to be that controversy around this tournament, whether his team's going to take this seriously. Obviously, the fans have their mixed opinion about this, especially as the supporter group too. There's been mixed opinion about the supporter group in regards to whether or not they should attend these Leeds Cup games to a supporter team or just downright boycott it because of how the Leeds Cup, one of the biggest controversy coming into this tournament, is that is kind of the main culprit in terms of why the U.S. Open Cup it started to dwindle. Now, in the 11th minute, Cucho would puts one right to Malaga. The shots were 4-1 for MLS All Star up to this point as they were pressing for the opener. There was a shout for a penalty for Liga MX not given, but in the 16th minute, Liga MX gets the opening goal. And guess who? It's Berarame. He scored from Dos Santos and DeRosen to give Liga MX a 1-0 lead. That lead lasted less than a minute because on the other end, there it is. It's the hometown hero, Cucho Hernandez. He scored from Rossi and Busquets to tie the game up at one apiece. And I'm pretty sure with a majority of not only supporting MLS All Star but certainly Columbus Crew fan, they definitely saw that combination a lot of time. And I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy to see that in an MLS All Star game, especially in their backyard. But Berarame looked to give the lead Emic his lead back again, but he hits this one right to Berkey. The defense again, this seems like optional in this All Star game. It's like it's just like the other All Star game in the U.S. where if you're a defender, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're happy you made it to the All Star game, but I'm pretty sure you're also being told by maybe the commissioner of both Liga MX and MLS that yeah, just don't try your best in this one. We want an offensive of showcase in this game, and the same goes for goalkeeper as well. But in the 20th minute, Dos Santos had a volley that hits it high from long range. I thought Jonathan Dos Santos also had a really good game as well. Again, former LA Galaxy City player as well, and I think he also represented MLS All Star a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Post would deny Berarame and Liga MX the lead back as Liga MX were pressing to look to try to get one back. We didn't see the first round of subs by MLS because usually around the 30th minute, this is when we're gonna see some other player gets a chance to appear in this game. So you got Diego Luna, Aaron Herrera, and Robin Lid appearing in this game. They replace Evander, Keegan Rosenberry, and Hector Herrera in this one. There was no penalty then given to MLS after VAR deemed that Puyovi did not handball this one in the box. Now I'm kind of surprised that they actually had VAR in this game. Like in an exhibition game, you usually do not see VAR being used. And I think it's even more surprised the fact that they actually got the call right because I know one of the things that in the last Liga MX versus MLS game in Minnesota, a lot of fans, and especially Liga MX fans, were not happy about is some of the refereeing decision that gone against them. And I'm not gonna no lie, there was definitely some refereeing decision that favors MLS All Star. I think that penalty that MLS All Star got against Liga MX All Star a couple of years ago probably shouldn't have been a penalty. But again, yeah, I wouldn't complain terms of that as rooting for MLS, but I don't blame why Liga MX fans are absolutely fuming about that, and I think they'll be fuming that if this was given a penalty too, because I think in the end it's the right call. I mean, it looks like POV. He did handball this one, but remember, it's one of those one where he touches his knees and then it hits his hand like that. And I think with the new handball rule, I think that would actually mean it's a handball, but they're not going with the new handball rule. And also at times I'm still just kind of confused what MLS do in terms of the handball rule. Do they go by the IFAB in terms of the handball rule? But nevertheless, it is the right call. No penalty was given to the MLS All Star, though that doesn't stop Cucho trying to give the lead for MLS All Star, but he puts it wide off of the deflection. I mean, he was definitely a monster in this game alongside with Diego Rossi, and it makes sense because they are the hometown hero. They're definitely going to give their hometown crowd a show. And then Rossi rounds Mir there, but he did lose his angle there, and unfortunately missed it wide on the empty net. But then in the 41st minute, Liga MX would get get the lead back. And if you're a Columbus Crew fan, yeah, close your eyes in terms of who scored this goal against you. It's Osama Idrisi, and the reason why I say that is because there was two Pachuca player in this game. I think both Idrisi and Solomon Rondon was booed mercilessly, and it makes sense because both of those guys were key contributor in terms of Pachuca winning the CONCACAF Champions Cup final against Columbus. So yeah, this definitely was not a fun moment if you're a Columbus Crew fan or even an MLS fan in general, seeing Idrisi score again, and this time in front of your backyard from Fidalgo to give Liga MX a 2-1 run lead. And also, it was kind of a training ground routine in terms of the corner. And usually, when it comes to training ground routine corner, it usually never works. But here, they work perfectly well. In fact, I think the other story in this game is that Liga MX, they must have practiced set piece a lot in training. And that MLS All Star definitely did not do so because they look so dangerous in this game in terms of set pieces. Luna did look to respond, but he hits it right to mirror. But we do head to halftime with Liga MX leading 2-1. Now in the second half, we got a fresh new batch of starting 11 for the MLS All Star. So now you get Hugo Lloris, Federico Benedeschi, Steven Moreira, Rudy Camacho, Hani Mukhtar, Christian Benteke, Moses Bombito, Lucas Oriano, Matthew Shrinier, Ricky Puig, and Denise Bwanga coming into this game. And straight away, Puig tried to tie the game up, but he blasts one high from close. And then there was another shout for a penalty for MLS, but instead they gave that a free kick that is outside the box. It was very close. It was very, very close. I think it's the right call that they said that was just outside the box. And then Oriano decided that he's going to do something he did earlier this season, which is try to chip the keeper from the halfway line. And he missed that one just high there onto the roof of the net. And I mean, bro, you knew that there was going to be an attempt like this. Knowing that there's been just a lot of these kind of where players decide to hit from the halfway line trying to chip the goalkeeper, you knew that in this game there was a chance that someone's going to try it, and why not see a player to do that than Lucas Oriano, who already did it earlier the season, able to be very successful in terms of doing that against the Union, and he was trying to replicate again in this game, but not to be this time. And then the post would deny Mukhtar, but it fall back to Benteke, but he could not put it away on the header from the rebound. And I also thought that that moment kind of sums up Mukhtar season as again he's just been getting little to no luck in front of goal. I'm kind of surprised that Hani Mukhtar got selected in this All Star game. Yes, I understand that he is still considered one of the best number 10 in the league, but man, this season he has had a rough year, and it's not a big surprise that Nashville is also having a rough season. As the old saying goes, if Mukhtar is not at it, Nashville is definitely not at it. Meza then flicks it wide from the corner, and then the post would deny Puig from close, and then Oriano had a chance on the rebound, but it was clear off the line by Bilbao. And I also wrote that, the MLS All Star team know that the crossbar challenge was last night in the skill challenge and not tonight. And if they would have performed like that, they probably would have won that All Star skill challenge and able the win the crossbar challenge. But obviously, unfortunately, MLS All Star didn't. Liga MX All Star able to win the crossbar challenge and win the skill challenge. And then we get a third round of change and really the last round of change by the MLS All Star as hometown hero Darlington Nagbe gets summoned. Definitely got a big round of applause, followed by Musa, Paz, and Peck. And they replaced Lariz, Bowanga, Rainier, and Benteke in that spot. And unfortunately, those subs not only turns out to be disastrous for Wilfred Nancy's side, but it actually turns out really well for Liga MX because just 1 minute after those subs were made, Bernetta would score from Farias and Horata to give Liga MX a 3-1 lead. I think Bernetta has been named the match of the or the man of the match in this game, and why not? He had a really good game in this one, getting a goal and then getting an assist too, because just 1 minute later, Maxi Meza would score from Bernetta to give Liga MX a 4-1 lead, and you just kind of sense that, yeah, the MLS back line has just completely checked out. I mean, to be fair, they've been checked out for most of this game, and in this one, it clearly kind of shown that they kind of didn't really care in terms of marking those two players. Tapia then denied Musa from close range before Paz on the other end denied Martinez from close. That has to be rough for Martin Paz coming into this game, making his first All Star game, and then literally within 2 minutes he conceded two goals. And again, this is the thing about Martin Paz this season. I'm kind of surprised that he got selected into the All Star game. Consider I thought last season he was actually better for Dallas compared to this year, where he's been a little bit shaky at times. And yeah, performance definitely is not going to help Dallas fans cause the fact that, again, making his debut in this one and then straight away conceding 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes. Though I will say that, both of those goals, I don't think I could blame him on any of those, considered the defense in front of him pretty much was non-existent whatsoever. Tapia then denied Mukhtar from close range because, again, even in an MLS All Star game, Mukhtar is not allowed to score a goal. And then he denied Oriano from close in the 88th minute. Besides Cucho and Rossi, I think Lucas Oriano was one of the better players in this game, and it just kind of shows you again. MLS runs through Ohio. I mean, the Ohio team, they have some of the best player in the game, and even Lucho Acosta was doing very well in this one as well, showing why he's the reigning MVP. And again, I stand by my words, the fact that I think the road to MLS Cup might still have to run through Ohio, though again, Inter Miami fans will want to have a word with that, and they'll definitely point at the standings, the fact that, yeah, no, MLS, the cup does not run for Ohio. It's definitely going to be run through Florida and potentially Chase Stadium, with them leading the Supporter Shield standings. But in the 90th minute, Benedeski would hits one right to Tapia, and yeah, in the end, Liga MX, they get the 4-1 win in this one. And the shots in this one and the stats just kind of shows you how little defense was being played in this one. There was a lot of shots, 23 shots compared to 17 that Liga MX had, 6 shots on goal compared to 8 that MLS has, 10 shots off target compared to 3 that Liga MX had, 2 shots on block compared to 6 that Liga MX had. For whatever reason, on the league website, they didn't post it, the possession stats, although I'm pretty sure it's pretty even, because both of these teams had their moments in terms, so their chances, and it was at time kind of back and forth. And again, it just shows you that I don't think the scoreline really indicate the fact that this was actually a really even game when it comes to the attacking this play. On the defensive side, I can't say that it was even whatsoever. I think, yeah, it was pretty clear that the MLS All Star, and this is kind of the thing about MLS, and one of the biggest problem that MLS had, and I can definitely will say that Liga MX will definitely had a more superior advantage over MLS on this. Liga MX has better defenders and have better defensive structure compared to MLS team, and I think that's kind of the reason why Liga MX team has been able to win a lot of these games, because yes, I know MLS has the attacking power to go toe to toe with Liga MX team, but still it's the defensive area that is what's kind of lacking in that department. And again, it's not a big surprise because with the way that the rules are being implemented, we know that a lot of teams really spend a lot on when it comes to attacking talent, and they do still spend some money in terms of reinforce their defensive department, but it's nowhere near in terms of what we see with Liga MX team, which is, again, this is why maybe with the recent new roster rule implement, and with the way that teams can spend on free DP and free U22 initiative, maybe some team might even look at DP players in terms of being a defender, or even a U22 initiative player being a defender, because I know before it feels like it's a cardinal sin to sign a DP player as a defender, but knowing how this game turns out, I think maybe that's what MLS team maybe need to think about reinvesting in the near future, especially with the rules being a little bit more relaxed when it comes to teams that are being very ambitious in terms of signing some good players. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure guys you like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video. And keep in mind, what's also kind of interesting about this All-Star game is that 2 days from now, we have the Leeds Cup tournament. And again, they were promoting the Leeds Cup tournament a lot throughout this game. And it makes sense because, whenever it's MLS versus Liga MX, and knowing that that's what that tournament is all about, it's no surprise that they really promote it. Now, will I still be watching that tournament? I will, but I will not be reviewing every single game like I did last year, because again, some part of me, I will still root for my team and hope that they do well in the Leeds Cup, but will I be very upset if they don't do well whatsoever? Not really, because again, that there's a reason why there's been this tournament is one of the more polarizing and just one of the more controversial tournament coming in, because of the way that fans are not happy about how this tournament is clearly being used as more of a cash cow kind of tournament, like I've always said before. And not to mention, it feels like it has come at a cost in terms of the U.S. Open Cup now started to be dwindling, and now it feels like we're heading to a stage where financial and money seems to be more important in terms of the heritage that we have in this game, and that's obviously, it feels like that's kind of how the game is now going through. It's just not just an MLS thing, but also around the world. Feels like now money seems to be a little bit more important compared to actually the heritage and the historic that it goes. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.